Hello, for those who don't know me, my name is Eric. In this video about van conversion or van living, I will show you some hacks that I find very useful. I have picked them up over the years. They give me an easier life or peace of mind when living in the van. Things have been busy, but I am finally getting back into making videos. Some very interesting videos will come out from this time away. What you are seeing now is my converted Toyota Sienna. You'll find plenty of videos about this marvel on my channel. I divided the hacks in 3 groups: useful for everyday use, must-have for the vehicle, must-have for van living. Here are the hacks useful for everyday use. I use cup holders for extra storage. It's so practical. Some cars have so many cup holders. Straight out from the factory, my Toyota Sienna has 16 for 8 passengers. I put chopsticks in the cup holders to hang almost anything. I use a non-slip mat on the dash. It gives me a spot to set things down for a bit without worrying it will slide off. I use a squeegee with foam to keep my solar panel clean. An IKEA style squeegee is particularly effective. I use a top bar from my shower enclosure as an extension for my squeegee. I use a compact duster to dust things off. When we eat while driving, we use 2 fabric pieces as placemats. There is a wide selection of low-cost options at Walmart. To stay stealth, when I don't want to turn on the lights, I use bike LED lights. They are not expensive and they can provide soft lighting. You can get ones that charge with USB. I keep a mini flashlight in each door. It's useful for everything. A headlamp is great when one reads and the other sleeps. It's also useful for changing a tire at night or other times. The mini broom. I use it so many times a day. A hard floor is a must for me. Don't forget, there are lots of videos on my YouTube channel to show you how I built my van. A folding mini steps tool is clearly an essential item that I use all the time. Wet wipes clean things fast. I always keep the container close. Earplugs. They let me sleep anywhere, even if it's noisy. Sleep masks. I prefer a scarf that I find easier to adjust, not to have too much pressure on the eyes. Sleep masks are key when I sleep with bug screens in a lighted parking lot. Having a trash can up front is a must. Having one in the back is just as important. Storage bags are useful. Here's one that holds stackable containers to save space. A bag of trash bags is very handy. When you live in a van, you notice how much packaging we use. Note that I often empty the trash but keep the bag. It's a small way to cut waste. I don't buy trash bags. I just reuse bread bags. I use rubber mats. Quite useful for those with a dog or when you work out. Paper towels. They're indispensable. I keep them close. Napkins are easier to store in the driver area. Keeping a few Ziploc bags can be handy sometimes. A clothesline. I can't do without it, especially if you do water sport. I love my banana holder. It is almost a trademark. It gets lots of funny comments on my videos about it. It stops bananas from getting bruised. I use a grid in the bottom of the sink. It's great for washing dishes and food in a small space, for drying, and even for storing big items for a bit. Candle lanterns to warm up, plus they create a cozy ambience. A candle produces about 80 watts of heat. However, it's crucial to crack the windows open for ventilation. A collapsible bucket for drying damp clothes. Bungee cords for securing stuff. Multi-port 12 volts outlet with USB. Now the hacks that are must-haves for the vehicle. An air compressor for when I lose air pressure or to take a shower. A good gauge to check tire pressure. It's key for fuel mileage. Don't forget the right pressure to use is on the driver's door. A gauge to check tire tread depth. It helps me to know if the tires can make a long trip, especially if I use winter tires to Florida and back to Canada in the winter. Winter tires wear out faster than summer tires. Basic tools and some hardware plus tape are always useful. My biggest fix was replacing my MPPT controller at 38 Celsius 100 Fahrenheit near Gillette, Wyoming. In that heat, the fridge is much needed. Having spare tools and a spare controller is essential. It is hard to order an MPPT controller on the road. For long trips, I always bring an extra one. Jumper cables. If not for you, you can help someone else. Be careful with that. Even if all lights are off, leaving a door open can keep the computer on. Over hours, that can drain the battery. Once the van's power worked, but the battery was too weak to start the engine. I had to get a jump from another car. Once it started, the alternator kept the charge to run the engine. 250 km later, I needed gas. At the station, I had to get another jump to start. Clearly, the battery wouldn't hold charge. I was glad I had jump cables. That time, I slept in a garage parking lot to get a new battery in the morning. An auxiliary battery charger. It's always good to carry one on a long trip. Once with my old AGM battery, I used it in Florida in January. The weather was bad for weeks, and my battery had charging issues. I always have a tire repair kit. I've never used it. Now I think if I take it out of the van, I'll get a flat for sure. I always keep in the van the user manuals for my solar system parts. They have been useful. For peace of mind, a steering wheel lock bar is great. I always have Windex or a similar product to clean my windows. Now, here are the hacks that are must-haves for van living. Audiobooks. They are great for long drives. They're fun and keep me awake. A paper book. Love having small board games in the van. They don't take up any space. I love learning cards. They provide quick access to information and take no storage space. I can study the fish before and after a dive. A star finder is cool to have in the van under a clear sky. A mini boombox. It's nice for soft background music. Headphones not to bother the other person. Plenty of playlists. A travel log to note addresses and keep memories. Expense sheets to track money if I don't want to use an app. These are the first ideas that come to mind. I invite you to add to this list for everyone's benefit in the comments. I plan to share more about the gear I use on some trips. As always, I like to know where you're watching from. Let me know in the comments and tell me your must-have van items. We'll all learn together. See ya!